7 before losing to them last year. Of course, it's Andy Reid. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen with you. That's Harrison Butker, set to get things started. Off we go from Arrowhead. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So here come the Eagles, and they are led by the reigning Super Bowl MVP. What a season for Jalen Hurts. Took the Eagles to the mountaintop. Now his 6th season in the NFL.
And he's coming off a game where he was pretty much held in check for the majority of the contest. And he had a couple nice throws mixed in, a couple decent drives here and there. But the inability to find the end zone, of course, he had the one interception. So a lot to clean up, a lot to improve. Not just him, but frankly, the entire offense. And his run game certainly didn't waste any time getting settled in. Nice job by the offensive line, displacing defenders at the point of attack, and allows the back to pick up a nice chunk to get this game rolling.
Now Hurts to call his own number. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him. Take him down behind the line.
So it's just a simple read, but it's really well defended. They had both the give and the pull reads both accounted for, and the play ends up going nowhere.
Now Jalen Hurts on 2nd down. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this one down to the 35-yard line. That's good. That pickup good for 29 yards. A gain of 29
what a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
180.
From out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. Oh, Barkley has fumbled. And did the Chiefs get it? They did.
And that's just got to be a really deflating way to start this game, Mike. I mean, you work on this opening script all week long with the expectation that you're going to start fast, and then you come out early, careless with the ball. They knock it loose and create the early takeaway.
So here come the Chiefs, and that means the 3-time Super Bowl MVP, twice the league MVP. Almost hard to believe, Greg, it's season 9 for Patrick Mahomes.
I think the biggest thing that stood out from last week's game was when they went into the game with an initial plan, how quickly were they able to get away from that when they realized it wasn't working? I think they got a lot of unscouted looks, meaning the defense threw a lot of exotic looks at them, blitzes, different fronts and coverages, maybe things they didn't work on all week. So the key this week is understand what is the defense looking to do today, and how fast can we make those adjustments if we're not having early success.
And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. It's going to be 3rd. They need 1. Now, a carry for Hunt. And he gets it to midfield, and he gets the first down. Good run. The drive continues.
And with the ball on your side of the 50, if they didn't pick it up there, I think it would have been really interesting, Mike, to see if they would have thought about going for it on 4th down. I think they would have, but I guess we'll never know because he's able to.
And they're going to get to him and take him down, take it back to the other side of midfield. Jalen Phillips. He had a sack in the opener last week. He's got another one here. They go play action with Mahomes. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
Oh, got him again the 2nd time with a sack on this opening drive. Jalen Phillips. He had 2 sacks in the opener and give him 1 more here in week 2. On 4th down, the Chiefs send out Matt Araiza to punt. And we will not have a return here. This one angled out of bounds. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener. When you play a tight game and lose, it kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that cardinal rule? You don't want one loss to turn into two, one bad play to turn into two. The best teams in this league, Mike, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good? And there certainly was a lot of it. But can they move forward today and not let the disappointment of last week trickle into today?
Once again, it's Barkley. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. Give them 14 on that one. First down, Philadelphia.
Eagles, first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Barkley. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. So 1 quarter in the books in this rematch of Super Bowl 57. 0-0 is the score. We'll be back in Kansas City after this. Eagles in possession to start the second quarter. We're looking at a second down and 9 to go. They'll run straight ahead with Barkley. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. 14 on the pickup. Good for an Eagles first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
He's going to be taken down at about the 30. That's 13 more on that play. And quickly, another first down.
Well, here he is just taking over this drive from the running back spot. And frankly, Mike, any time the secondary and defensive backs are making a lot of tackles downfield, you know the offensive line's doing their job up front, and we can see the results.
Second down, zone read, and he keeps it. Oh, and he is depleted on that one. Picked up, thrown down behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss of 3, it is second and 13.
63.
A shotgun snap now to Hurts. Exiting the pocket right. And they'll finally run him down, but he takes it inside the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 26, and it'll set up first and goal.
What I like the most here is just the decision that when he wants to be a runner, he commits to being a runner, and he's able to weave his way downfield, pick up the first down, sets up first and goal.
Ball sitting at the 7. First and goal.
Good. Set.
Hurts going to keep it on the option. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits. What do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal?
A second down throw for Hurts. This one caught at the 4.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
180.
Barkley will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Jake Elliott now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Eagles will take a 7-0 lead.
Eagles 7, Chiefs 0. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. On the return, here's Isaiah Pacheco. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Chiefs offense ready to take over for their second possession. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title. But you have to remember, 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned 9 in a row, you think, oh, yeah, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think LA and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
Now, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers, or the Broncos, or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. That's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be really good on the inside in defense and be able to defend the run. So there's themes across every division, and the teams that are built to compete within the division are usually the teams that find themselves in the playoffs.
That's taken in by Kareem Hunt. Now the Chiefs can call the first of their timeouts. The clock will stop with 33 seconds to go until halftime.
At the 17-yard line.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Right back to the air for Mahomes. He'll look underneath for Hunt. And he'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down.
First down. 1st and 10.
Mahomes now to throw again. Oh, man, wide open. He's got it. Travis Kelce. Touchdown, Chiefs. That's his first touchdown of the new year.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. This one taken at the 7. They'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. They'll work in a tie game here in the 2nd quarter and get started with 1st and 10. They do try to run it out as they start on the ground. So the Eagles will use their first timeout here as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in the opening half.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 2.
No touch.
They'll keep it on the ground here again. They'll mark them down just shy of the 40. Here's your timeout for Philadelphia. That is their second, as that'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
They'll fake the give. Now it's Hurts. Quick slant into the hands of Smith. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line. And the offense will take one here. Timeout with 6 left on the second quarter clock.
The 47-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Great. Trim it. No touch.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. This one is caught by Dotson. And he's out of bounds down inside the 35. First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down. Here's Jake Elliott now to try the field goal. This is going to be a 51-yard attempt. Elliott's kick is good. And the Eagles get 3 here late in the first half to take the lead. So, halftime straight ahead, and we send it over to Scott Hanson, who has the EA Sports
Our trip around the
halftime
NFL
report.
starts now. In the Big Easy, the Saints at home to take on the 49ers. And it's Chris Olave. They'll get it out to him left side, and then he'll take it the rest of the way. And that's a 63-yard touchdown catch. The Saints are off to a good start, 2-0 on the young season. Got another one to get to right now. How about Gang Green? The Jets, they're playing host to the Buffalo Bills. And here's a man who went for 1,000 yards last year, James Cook. He tied for the league lead with 16 rushing touchdowns in 2024. He's got his first of the season right here. The Bills even up their record at 1-1 as they get the win here. Last but not least, let's go to Baltimore. The Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. And this one, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. He only had a couple of catches in this game, but what a big one here. The Ravens get it done within the division as they come away with the victory. We'll give you a look now at the remainder of the games in progress in the early window and what's still to come here in Week 2 of the National Football League regular season. Meanwhile, our game has lived up to the hype. Just a field goal separates these two teams. 10-7 your score as we send you back out to the broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
3 points, all that separates these two sides as half number 2 kicks off. This one crushed. It's over the back line of the end zone. Touchback, and the ball's coming out to the 35. The Chiefs offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, for that. It just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival. So you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten a stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field a lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come over.
5 yards from the house. They've got it first and goal. Here's a run. And nothing developed there. He'll get back to the 5, and that's all. Now here's second and goal.
At the Eagles' 5-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. And he'll take this down to the 2 with a good tackle there. Going to set up third and goal.
3 yards. It's now third and goal.
Throwing is Mahomes. That's to Kelsey on the tight end screen. And he's in. Travis Kelsey. Touchdown, Chiefs. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Butker's extra point is good. And the Chiefs are on top. It's 14-10.
Eagles 10.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. And across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. Hey, Greg, you think about the NFC East, I was always fond of saying, you're not allowed to rebuild in the NFC East. Think about these fan bases, Philly, Washington, Dallas, the Giants. Their fans don't stand rebuilds very often. Always feels a different pressure in this division to be one of the best teams in the league every year.
And it's just such a fun division. And last year with Washington turning it around so quickly, Jay Daniels and Dan Quinn, what a great story that was. And then, of course, with Philadelphia, the eventual Super Bowl champs. Clearly, towards the end of the season, it was pretty evident, at least to all of us, that they were the best team, and that's exactly how things played out. So if you're at the bottom looking up, unlike some of these other divisions where you say, okay, maybe I'm not as far behind as it feels, in the NFC East, Mike, there's just not a lot of easy wins in your division, especially if you're the Giants.
We talk about history, and sometimes people go back 5 or 10 years. I just think back to the generations of great matchups amongst these teams. Greg, when any one of these teams goes to visit the other one, it feels like a historic NFL game because of the legacy. That, to me, is why the NFC East is one of the sexiest divisions in all of sports, not just the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
Into space. And what an effort after the catch. He goes all the way. 73 yards. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A terrific job all the way around, especially after the catch, Greg, to take it to the end zone for a touchdown.
I'm just so impressed by the acceleration of this receiver, Mike. He catches what is a short pass, and he's able to turn it up the field and take it all the way for 6. That is an impressive play, run after catch.
The Eagles will set up for the two-point conversion.
Set.
Now whistles. Play clock at 0, and that'll cost them 5. Elliott on now for the PAT. Backed up because of the penalty, but no matter. The extra point is good.
17. Chiefs 14.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. And this one sent all the way over the back line. No thought of putting this in the landing area. So it'll come out, per the new rule, to the 35-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Mahomes. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40.
So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. That's caught by Hunt.
So often for a defense defending the passing game, the most difficult guy to account for is the running back out of the backfield. So a really nice job here bringing him down before he has a chance to pick up any yards after the catch.
A short one caught by Kelsey. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
It's over the middle. And caught by Rice. And they'll take this down inside the 35. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
On the ground, this is Hunt. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
The RPO is caught by St. Brown. And he's going to be brought down just outside the 10-yard line.
It's a gain.
What a moment in this game. A touchdown would give them the late lead. It is 1st down and goal. They put Kelsey in motion. 1st down throw. Mahomes. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time. And it'll set up 2nd down. Now, Mahomes. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
3rd and goal.
I got him, man. I got him.
To the air once more. It's Mahomes. He's got his man. Middle of the end zone. Xavier Worthy. Touchdown, Kansas City. His first touchdown of the new campaign. And Butker on for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Chiefs move out in front by 4. It's 21-17. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. Jackson now to return it. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. That's caught. Saquon Barkley.
Hurts pass. Complete to Saquon Barkley.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 5.
At the 29-yard line.
Here's Barkley. Can he get away? No! He's going to be taken down behind the line.
The tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion. In a moment, the crowd at Arrowhead roaring. Here's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man. That's caught by Brown. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a 1st down.
First down, Eagles.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Open receiver is Dotson.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to, what they call, punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on.
And that could be the dagger. It's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
And with time not on their side, they're trying to push the ball, generate some sort of chunk play by throwing the ball over the top of the defense. It's going to end up being a little bit too predictable. The defense is able to take the ball away, and barring something crazy happening, puts them in a prime position to close this one out.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 30.
Here's a run with Hunt. And he broke through the initial contact, winds up getting about 3. It's 2nd down. Here's a timeout for Philadelphia. That is their 2nd. Clock stops, 46 seconds to go. Here's a 2nd and 6. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. Rice open. He's got it. Now they are in business. Inside the 15-yard line. On the move at the 14-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Only one timeout remaining for the defense as they take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chiefs. And right away you can point to the turnover battle. Always key. Tells the story so often. It did here again today. Their offense didn't turn it over at all. They finished on the plus side with takeaways. As a result, they're going to come away with the victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious, as we say, so long from Arrowhead.